Stand by for a brand new episode of All Things Good and Nerdy.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to episode 579 of the All Things Good and Nerdy podcast. This is recorded live on Thursday, December 19th, 2024. It is our final show of the year. We will be here to entertain you, though, as we wrap this thing up. So let's just go around the table, see who all's here. My name is Chris. I am back after some life getting in the way the past couple weeks, and I am joined by the usual band of misfits. We'll start first with Mr. Willie D. Nelson.
There's nothing going wrong if you're watching the video feed. If you can't see me, it means you're touching yourself because I got this new camera. Ted, I don't know how the technology works, but here it is.
I think Willie just transmogrified himself into a W that pulses when he talks.
It seems that way.
I don't see either of your hands, so that tells me something.
Hand check.
Well, my hands are all on screen.
Hey,
Willie failed the hand check.
Listeners, turn up the sound. Do you guys hear that? Do you hear the vibration sound going off? Because I think I do.
And of course, we're also joined by Mr. Anthony Bachman.
I'm the one not sitting on an egg timer like Willie is.
Oh, shoot, it is me. It's been me the whole time.
So,
and all along,
we are here.
I was wondering, and that was.
We're here to entertain you. We want to talk about the cool stuff that's going on. But before we do that, hey guys, got any fun holiday plans coming up? We're like 6 days out from Christmas for those that celebrate. We are in the holiday time of year where people are taking time off.
it's time for Squigmas with the red gobbo. I finally got me a commemorative Warhammer figure. The red gobbo celebrates Squigmas. He has a little snowman with grenades. Orcs are awesome.
Don't dispute it. I do not dispute it. For those that are watching live, I do want to say in advance, hey, things may look a little different this week. We're exploring some other options for how we're going to do live streaming. So here's the details, the inside baseball of it, if you will, is we've been using a service for the past year called StreamYard, which has been really steady for us, really solid, haven't had any problems. It's kind of simplified and helped cut down on the workflow for getting things done. And I had bought a year in advance of it and went, okay, this is great. So they sent a notice out because our subscription runs out like January 3rd or something like that said, hey, we see that your subscription's running out. Just a heads up, we're increasing the subscription price. But when we do that, we'll give you all these nice perks. Like we're getting now 1080p streaming instead of 720 on our plan, which I didn't really care about, and some extra stuff like that, but nothing great. I was like, okay, how much is this going to cost me? Oh, almost over doubling the cost of our annual subscription for StreamYard. It was up to like $400+. And I was like, there is absolutely no way we're going to be spending $400 a year for our streaming setup here. So we are exploring other alternatives here for the next few weeks or so, next few episodes. Right now we are using Restream on their free tier. And if we like it, they do have a paid plan, which would open up more flexibility for us that I may explore going forward. I've got a couple other things I wanted to look at too, but as much as I like StreamYard and it treated us well, I just can't justify $400 a year for 52 podcast episodes. That's a lot.
Thing you liked? How about we double how much it costs? Like, it's ridiculous.
Well, I mean, and there's other similar service providers that did similar. Like I looked, and they all are raising their prices right now, and I was like, nope. And they're doing it in part, I think, because people who are not hobby podcasters like us have been using it, and they're like, hey,
and making money.
Yeah, we should probably increase our price because of how this is working for these other folks and giving them extra capabilities. But they kind of price themselves out of the hobbyist market, which probably isn't bad to them in the grand scheme of things, because we're probably such a small amount of the money they are making compared to what it is on these larger folks. But if you're a hobby podcaster now, it's kind of a struggle to figure out the right way, or not the right way, the alternative way for you to do things. And worst comes to worst, we'll go back to streaming things through OBS directly out. But I just don't want to because I'm lazy, I'll be honest. So that's why I'm kind of looking at things like Restream, and there's another app that's Mac specific only called Ecamm Live that I was looking at exploring. So over the next few weeks, we'll be trying a few different approaches and ways to do this. So my apologies to folks who are watching live, or even folks who are watching the video after the fact, is our look and feel is not going to be consistent for a little bit while we play around and figure out just how we want to adjust things in the new year.
Welcome back to All Things Technical Difficulties. We're going to be fucking with shit.
I mean, in theory, we should be relatively stable with the stuff, with the alternatives I'm looking at, because they're all pretty firmly established. I just don't know how to use them yet. So the technical difficulties more like user error.
Well, yeah, you jump into one and just do a podcast. It's like, all right, well, let's see how this works. Like, then you're learning on the fly versus how long we have used StreamYard for what, a year and a half, 18 months?
About a year and a half or so, yeah.
Yeah. So after that amount of time, like, you know all the ins and outs, you know all the little tweaks and stuff. It's like, oh yeah, but this is a podcast that doesn't turn a profit, so we're not paying you $400. That's insane.
Can I just say I really miss the old Google Hangouts on air where he just
I
pushed a button and it worked.
They had like one of the best things. They're like, you know what? We should really kill this because people like it. And so we don't want to put out products that people like because we're Google.
Yeah. So I have some ideas of how we're going to move forward, what we're going to play around with. And ideally, we don't go the route where I'm running everything through OBS locally on my computer again, just because I'm lazy and that's really complicated to set up. I don't think this computer would have an issue with it when I was playing around with it when I got it, but just beware, be cognizant that we are trying over the next few weeks to figure out what the way ahead is and to keep the quality relatively high, I guess.
And as my computer system is slowly falling apart piece by piece, I'm going to have to replace all of this at some point other than basically my screen. So my microphone fell out of the mic holder because the plastic part actually cracked open. So the other day I heard a clunk and I came in and looked at my mic just sitting on the desk. So like the part that actually goes around it just snapped.
Oops.
So just sitting there hanging. The arm itself has gotten kind of loose and wobbly over the years. Like it's beat up. My computer does not have the hardware to upgrade to Windows 11 and will therefore no longer be able to do anything come October of next year. And when I turn my hard drive on, it sounds like a jet engine spinning up for like the first 2 minutes when my fans come on. So all of this needs to be replaced. And I think my camera's like 15 years old. So
I just went the route of getting a Mac and it was simple. I just plugged everything in and it works.
Yeah, I had a Mac for a while and I didn't hate it, but I don't know if I can go switch everything back again. We'll see. I gotta look at some computers and figure out what I want to do. Because before I was doing everything for art programs, and so like when I custom built this one, it was like, it was running art programs better than a Mac when I built this sucker.
Yeah.
So, but that was when I built it 10 years ago.
As someone who has recently adjusted things, I will say that Apple creating their own silicon really kind of changed the game, and I have had little to no issue running things, and it is also very convenient that I can run most iOS and iPad apps directly on the computer too.
Yeah, since honestly, nowadays I'm watching a couple of YouTube videos, doing email, and then this is what I use my computer for, so I don't need to be focused on anything art wise, so I might just get me a Mac.
You need to live that Mac Mini life like me.
You got the little Mac tiny guy
life. The new Mac Mini is really tiny. It's like the size of the Apple TV, and I'm kind of jealous and kind of want one, even though I don't really need one.
I have to take a look at that. It would be weird since my tower is huge. But where do I put all my stickers then? If I get a computer that small?
Your desk.
The desk already has stickers on it.
Your face.
They won't stick to my face for long enough.
Super glue.
Rude.
Your TV behind. I don't know what they're the wall.
I was saying I got a lot of stickers on my computer. I like
the
it.
wall.
That would let me bring my monitor down and actually use my second monitor next to my first monitor instead of it being up here on top of my desktop. My second monitor is up here, like it's up high.
Oh, so it's like you're in one of the sports bars and you got the TV.
Yeah,
that's
I gotta go
all
like
the way
this.
to the fucking ceiling.
Yep.
Why is it up there?
And then I have the other one over here that's actually my Huang touchscreen for doing art stuff, because now I basically just use it as a third monitor.
I thought I was touching my Huang.
No, that's something different.
I mean, you still can't see me, right?
It's true. We can't.
It's still working.
We don't know what Willie's up to.
What are you talking about? I see you on screen right now. You're this pulsing W. I see you. Look, you're right there.
He's Pac-Man. He's Pac-Man.
Oh, something's gobbling something all right sooner or later.
Aww.
You asked for it and I brought it.
I asked
Well,
for no such thing.
On that note, we're going to desperately transition on over into our news of the week. It is that part of the show where we run down what is in our minds some most interesting, geeky, and or nerdy news and share it with you fine folks who are watching live or listening at a later date. And Willie's got a longer one, so we're going to use him as the meat of our sandwich. Bachman and I's news story is going to be the bread. We'll start with mine because it is potentially the freshest of the news, because I don't know if you guys noticed.
Oh, definitely the freshest.
There was a little movie
news.
trailer that dropped today. I don't know if you guys saw that.
Oh, no, there was a teaser trailer that dropped today after we were notified about it yesterday, and it's awesome.
And it's making a lot of those Snyder bros real sad and salty, which makes me laugh a lot.
I'm trying not to hate, but yeah, it in a 30-second teaser, it gave us more hope than the 3 Snyder films.
Yeah. So what we have today is James Gunn's Superman, which the title is just Superman at this point in time instead of Superman Legacy as it originally was. They dropped the 2-minute and 20-second teaser trailer today and gave us kind of a look of the tone of the movie. We got to see a bunch of cameos of different other superheroes that we had heard would be in it that all of a sudden were, and you went, oh crap, I forgot they were there. Nathan Fillion with a ridiculous bowl cut that I didn't realize was Nathan Fillion the first time I saw it.
I watched the trailer 3 times before I realized that was Guy Gardner.
Yeah.
I was like, who is this dude in this awful? It's like, oh my God, that's Nathan Fillion's Guy Gardner. Oh, it's so perfectly awful.
But by far my favorite thing, Crypto the Super Dog.
I was about... All right, now I'm of a mixed bag with this. Like, I knew as soon as I saw something coming towards him, well, I mean, as soon as he fucking whistled, I was like,
yeah,
is that for Crypto?
Well, in one of the original,
there comes that silver bullet train.
In one of the original promo images, they had Superman sitting next to his dog, so like we knew Crypto was coming. And James, got to remember correctly, base this because I can't remember what type of dog Crypto is in the comics, and I think it's also changed over the years. But it's usually like more like a lab with like big floppy ears. But
technically, it's an alien, but
yeah, but I mean, based on the artists still draw it based on human. Like earthling dogs.
That's fair. That's 100% fair. I'm sorry.
I believe the reason we got this breed of dog in the movie is that this is the breed of dog that James Gunn has, and so he loves his dog and wanted to put like a version of his dog in the movie, which is kind of cute.
Snyder Bros are real unhappy about the inclusion of the dog. And then they're also unhappy about the color palette that was chosen for the movie. And I'm like, really? This is what we're complaining about? Is that
they're unhappy about anything that makes people happy?
Would I be considered a Snyder Bro? Because I enjoyed the Snyder movies.
Because you're rational about your like of the Snyder movies to an extent.
He says Man of Steel is the best Superman movie.
And I stand by that.
Is he rational?
I'm not standing right now, but
I mean... Willie's at least willing to hear other opinions and not automatically dismiss them in regards to Superman movies. And yes, I am not stereotyping. I'm kind of painting everyone with the same brush here. But a lot of those folks who are constantly arguing about the Snyder cut of everything online are those that will only abide by what Zack Snyder put on screen, and everything else is inferior, effectively.
Yeah, which is a ridiculous way to live your life. Zack Snyder makes really pretty movies. He's a great cinematographer. Not so much a great storyteller. I watched those Child of Earth, Fire, whatever Netflix movies. Oh. Like, that's all I'll say. Just, they weren't good.
Yeah.
But no, there's more hope in this trailer than the 3 movies they did in the Snyderverse with Superman.
still disagree with that, but I mean, I still like this trailer. I'm not trying to distract from that.
Yeah, but like this trailer feels hopeful. It's colorful. It's a big blue Boy Scout, even though the first image we see is Superman. Yeah, like just he's been destroyed by somebody. But I'll be honest, what I was the most stoked about in the trailer, because like we knew Superman was coming, we heard about Mr. Terrific, but what we hadn't seen was a bald Nicholas Hoult.
Yep.
And this Lex Luthor is what I've been looking forward to. The shiny chrome boy himself is going to be standing up for humanity, fighting against the alien Kryptonian. I can't wait to see what this kid does with Lex Luthor. Like, he's such a good actor.
James Gunn had mentioned that in the universe they've established for this, Luthor and Superman really haven't crossed paths before. So this is going to be the beginning of the interaction between Luthor and an established Superman. By established, I don't know how long Clark has been Superman, but we know he's been doing it for a bit.
To be fair, that's been written and rewritten over and over again. Who cares? Yeah, go ahead. Restart it over. Don't base it on anything. Make it your own. No one cares.
Yeah, it was the one other thing I saw that I really was impressed by. And someone, one of the comic book artists I follow, pointed it out. The scene where the Lois Lane is looking at Corn Sweat sitting at his desk, and he turns around and he's got like the big bulky glasses. His hair's all kind of frazzled. And they just took that image and they said, you know what? I think that's the first time I've ever looked at Clark Kent and said, that doesn't look like someone pretending not to be Superman.
Right.
Like, since Christopher Reeve, this is the first guy that doesn't look like just a massive bodybuilder. I love Henry Cavill, but he looks like a professional wrestler squeezed into a tweed jacket that's ready to explode. Like, Henry Cavill is a giant human. Like, he's huge. The dude reloaded his arms in a fight scene. Like, yeah, but there's absolutely no reason for Superman to be huge. Like, it literally doesn't even make sense by the way the character's written. There's no way for him to be that buff. But, like, that's just the route they've gone on multiple versions of Superman. The actors get jacked. But this doesn't look like Superman hiding as a human. This just looks like a Clark Kent character, which is awesome acting. Like, that's a great level of acting to where you can look at the two different characters on screen and not think it's the same actor. Like, that's impressive. That takes skill.
Yeah. This was enough. It did exactly what it needed to do. It teased me. It got me interested. I wanted to see more. I have a good feeling about what I have seen, and I'm looking forward to, I'm assuming around the Super Bowl, we'll probably get something extra, because everyone likes to drop movie trailers around the Super Bowl and things like that. I was surprised how much we got to see of the other heroes in the DC universe in this initial teaser trailer. Like, we'd heard Gunn talk about it. We'd seen some interviews. We're talking about, oh yeah, Mr. Terrific's in it, Hawkman's in it, Green Lantern's in it, things like that. Well, we saw all of those folks in this quick trailer. Not for long, mind you, but enough to be like, oh yeah, this is a rich world that has other superheroes beyond just Superman.
Yeah, this is going to be like, here's your Justice League of America, or Justice Society of America, here's your Justice League. Like, you're going to get characters popping up from all over the place. Yeah, and the list on IMDb where they've started attaching names to people is kind of crazy how many are up now. Yeah, Sean Gunn is listed as Maxwell Lord.
Nice.
Like, I mean, that's awesome if he put his brother in as the, psychopath that wants to rule the world and blow up people's heads like it's a Scanners movie.
Part of me was also realizing watching this trailer that our friend Sean Pryor is going to have to put out an update to Kaiju Unleashed now, because there's a big ass kaiju in this movie.
Hey,
we're gonna have to send him a message online. Hey, Sean, you got to add this one in. I think there's an update.
I mean, to be fair, I hope this is just a movie that there's no like main thing that's going on. Just the Superman going day to day for a bit. Just that's all it is. There's no big overall arc that's going through this movie. Just a couple things that happen day to day. This thing happened, that thing happened. Hey, tomorrow's Thursday. You know what I mean?
It wouldn't be bad. Cool. Yeah, they could literally just do a week in Metropolis, and that could be the movie. And then it slowly builds up to Luthor being like, "Oh, I got to take down this alien," and then like that sets you up for your sequel.
Yeah, for no reason. That'd be hilarious.
No, he hates him. He hates him because he's everything he can't be.
Okay, he doesn't have a come on, what we would think of as a good reason. It's a good reason in his own head. I'll give you that, but come on.
Well, yeah, everybody thinks they're the hero of their own story.
Yeah,
except Bizarro.
That's true. He thinks he's the villain in a story someone's telling about him.
Bizarro and
those would both be reversed.
Opposite.
Yeah,
Bizarro and hero.
Jeez, I didn't mean to make it a whole thing for you to reverse engineer.
Too bad you did.
No, I didn't. I just said I didn't. I'm not Bizarro.
I don't know, guys. I've been on a big Superman kick lately, I realized, because they had a bunch of Superman comics on sale in Comixology that I bought, like a bunch of the big-ass compendiums for $1.99. And then I'm finally getting caught up on Superman and Lois, and then this trailer drops. So I'm like, oh, man, there's a lot of Superman in my life right now. And so much so to the fact that, here we go. The home screen on my phone right now is the poster for Superman.
Sweat. You got corn sweat on your phone.
If I was a hippie, I'd be, that's Superman.
No, that's the movie I watched. The documentary about Christopher Reeves. Superman.
I'm looking forward to watching that. I haven't had a chance to yet because I don't have any of the streaming services on. And I have enough other stuff I need to watch. I was like, I'm not dropping $10 on Superman right now, and I've got a bunch of other stuff I need to watch first.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say you don't need to like buy Max just for it, but get ready, like it's a tearjerker. Get ready to cry. It's so well done. It's one of my like top 5. Like I was going through my list for Letterboxd and going back and just looking at everything. I gave a 5 star this year. I think it's the only documentary I watched this year, and I gave it 5 stars. Like it's so well done. And there's a lot more about Christopher Reeve's kids that I had no clue about. And his son, that kid went through like the worst 2 years of any human could ever have in their life. Like he lost his dad, his grandma, and his mom inside of 18 months. Like what the hell? Like it's so awful. And like they're out there running a charity in their parents' names. Like it's so great. But yeah, it's a really good documentary. But yeah, be prepared like an hour and a half and you're gonna be crying. Like you're not leaving that one without some tears. Like it's
nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, just as long as you're prepared for it. If you're not prepared for it, it'll catch you. But yeah, it's really good. I was trying to think. There's the list of like 5-star movies that I rated 5 stars this year, and a whole lot of them are just movies I was rewatching, not new ones. Not a ton of new movies that I saw this year. I guess there's 2 there. So I give the new Roadhouse and Ghostbusters Frozen Empire both 5 stars. Like 5 out of 5. Both really fun movies. One, kept expanding the universe. One, a different take on a movie that I didn't think they should make. But damn if the new one isn't fun. Like I rewatched the new Roadhouse one night and I watched it again the next night for dinner. Like I watched it 2 nights in a row. It was that much fun the first time I watched it. Like it's a really fun, violent movie. Yeah, that was a good one. Trying to think. Oh yeah, I think the only new movie besides Dune. Oh, In a Violent Nature and Alien Romulus. I get both of those 5 out of 5 stars on Letterboxd. Those are both fantastic films. Alien Romulus was something new in the Alien franchise. And then, In a Violent Nature is, I don't know who the people are that made that movie, but they love old school slashers, and they did new stuff that you've never seen in a slasher. That is harder and harder to do every time a new horror movie comes out. And they put some new stuff in there that is creepy and really well made. And it's one of those ones like at the end where it's like Texas Chainsaw, where you finish the movie, you're like, I don't even know if I liked what I just saw. I know I saw it. Like, I feel weird. Like, Violent Nature is a good one.
Well, that pretty much finishes up my news. So let's go to the meat of this news sandwich we're talking about here. It's meaty. It's beefy. Willie wants to talk to us about the Game Awards. He had, how do I put this delicately, a crap load of notes for us. And what was your intent, Willie? Kind of go through your notes, see what piques people's interest, and talk about it?
Listen, the only reason you should know it's beefy, because I know you can't see it, is because my hands... Well, oh, wait, sorry. I'm talking about this meaty information I got in my hand on my phone here. I got it all written down here. Let's see, what was here? The Video Game Awards came out last week, starting at 7:30, which technically was 8 because it was a 30-minute pre-show. I don't know why they did that, but it was a fun thing throughout. It was a whole great experience to watch. A lot of people seemed to like being there, but one of the first things I noticed was the Muppets made a return. Every so often they bring some Muppets back. This time it was the I forget their names, the old guys who sit up in the balcony.
Statler and Waldorf.
Yeah, they brought them back.
Boo!
Yeah, they kept doing that. They kept coming back throughout the night. It was great.
Nice.
Harrison Ford came out, made Todd Howard look short because he is. Oh yeah, that was my note. Harrison Ford came out, Todd Howard short. Ha.
All right.
Not a ha, just ha.
Just a
H-A.
ha.
The first premiere trailer we got was Witcher 4. Did you guys see the trailer for Witcher 4 per chance?
I did, and I also saw the blowback that is stupid that some people are giving towards The Witcher 4.
So yeah, I didn't see the trailer, but I saw the dipshits online.
I'm assuming because it's Siri?
Yes, well, twofold. Because
It's been a long time since I played the game, so my memory of the name is a little wonky.
It's twofold. Some people are mad because it's Siri, and some people are mad because it's Siri, and she actually looks like a real woman, not someone there with a ton of makeup on as the title character.
Yeah, she's a Witcher.
Game. Yeah. So people were like, this is what she should look like, doing like side-by-side photos of what she looks like in the game, and then one that's got like eyeshadow and blush and lipstick. And you're like, dude, have you never played a game? No protagonist in a game is going to look perfectly made up. Why would you expect just because the main character is a woman? Come on, get your head out of your ass, people.
They can't their head firmly in their ass.
This problem seems to keep popping up, and we keep saying the same thing every time. And I don't think it's ever going to stop being a problem. Those people are just going to be those people. What can you do? You know what I mean?
No,
but
unfortunately,
oh yeah, that was my note for this. Feels like Witcher because it just felt like Witcher.
There you go.
That's fair.
Let's see here. Elden Ring Night Rain. From what I don't know if you've seen it. It looks like it's a multiplayer spin-off. I'm not sure exactly what Elden Ring Night Rain is, but it's Elden Ring with the subtitle Night Rain, and it is definitely multiplayer. I'm not sure if it's a spin-off, a sequel, a DLC. I'm not 100% on this. I wasn't really I'm not really big on Elden Ring, the From Software, but I think this is the thing they made, the last thing they made with Namco Bandai. That's it. Woo!
Banjo-Kazooie.
No, that's Rare.
That's Microsoft now.
Technically. Next up, we're getting Outer Worlds 2 from Obsidian. Yeah, it looks like Outer Worlds 2 from Obsidian. It looks just like another Obsidian game.
Outer Worlds was a blast, so I'm happy to see that this is happening.
Yeah, I'm glad they actually get to make a sequel.
Yeah.
To a game they previously made. Like,
not many of those.
For them?
Oh, I'm saying not many good sequels to good games.
Well, I mean, like, no, because they the ones who made Fallout New Vegas. So they didn't get to make Fallout 3 or Fallout 4. They got to make New Vegas. The one people, as far as I know, that one got a lot of praise over Fallout 3, right? People were looking at Fallout 3 like, why couldn't you do this? Right? Am I misremembering that?
I can answer that question. I didn't play the Fallout games.
That's fair.
Yeah, same boat.
Split Fiction is from the same developers as It Takes Two, and it looks like it plays very similarly, where two people are playing, like you both see like the same screen at the same time. Even if you're playing like online, you both see like it still splits the screen in half as if you're couch co-op.
That was a fun one.
Yeah, and Split Fiction is coming up. It looks be the same company and same thing. Fragpunk looks cool. A free to play team shooter, which looks like their whole thing is like cards, where it looks like the character you are crushes the cards in their hand, like pops it or whatever. And then boom, the effect takes place. Like the first couple ones they showed is like weather effects. Like it could be dry or it could be humid or like frozen over, or it's now a jungle.
Fancy.
The looks like Borderlands 4 was announced, which
this is something I would have been super excited about probably 4 or 5 years ago.
yeah,
I just after Borderlands 2, I haven't been as excited about it. I played the pre-sequel and I bought Borderlands 3 when it was on sale for $10. And I think I've put like 5-10 minutes in it. The whole looter shooter thing for me is kind of
I can't go back.
Yeah.
I can't go back, man.
yeah.
I can't give it the time.
It's something when you're 22 and you just want to like grind through 8 hours of a game every night and just love it. And it's a blast. It's another thing when you're in your 40s.
Oh, and I am also going to warn you here. I also do not have any like the winners of the video game awards. The thing I was more excited about was the announcements of the new stuff.
Fair enough.
Because that was so much cooler, and I don't want to just expand this out to be like 40-minute segment. So, pardon me. Clive from Final Fantasy 16 is coming to be a DLC character for Tekken 8.
Ooh.
Which was enough of me get me to write it down, because I did give Final Fantasy 16 a try. I'll probably go back to it, but I got other stuff I really need to play. Oh yeah, and this is, I said the spoiler out to you guys in the pre-show, but shout out to who was in charge of the stage effects, because during a bunch of things that was going, oh my god, the fog effect during one of the like musical interludes was amazing. Like, I don't know how that singer was walking on that, not thinking he was about to fall off the damn stage. It looked trippy. It looked awesome. And just throughout the whole night, it looked amazing. Oh, and some of my favorite parts coming up. They also, a new Virtual Fighter is coming out. Made by studio Ryu Gagatuku. God, it's so hard to pronounce. I always feel like I'm doing it wrong, and I probably am. And I really hate it because it's my favorite studio. Because it's the studio that does Like a Dragon, the Yakuza series.
All right.
Because the very next trailer was a new game from them, codenamed, as far as I know, as far as anyone knows right now, is codenamed, or it could be its real name, Project Century. And it looks to believe, I believe, takes place in 1915 Kamurocho, the main part of Tokyo that's made up for the Yakuza series. Mm-hmm. I could be wrong. That definitely looks like Shangri-La, a location in Kamurocho in those games. But it does look to take place in 1915, and that was my favorite part of the whole show. But that's just me showing my bias. But then coming up next, we have a new trailer for Turok Origins. Hey, you remember Turok? He's coming back in Pog form.
Boy, when is the last time
that
was really talked about?
Okay,
Pogs?
okay, guys, that was a Simpsons reference. You need to stick with me here. There was a whole, it was Milhouse saying, "It's Alf. He's back in Pog form." All right, come on, guys. But yeah, Turok, Dinosaur Hunter.
I remember him.
Yeah, okay. All right. The next up, another return from an old game series. Onimusha returns with a new entry subtitled Way of the Sword.
It's been a while since we've had an Onimusha game, hasn't it?
I think was there a fourth one, or was it just the third one with Jean Reno in it?
That's the last one I remember. But
that was number 3, I believe. And I think there was also like a Smash Brothers type fighter somewhere in there as well.
Yeah, it's been a while.
And I wonder if this is gonna are they gonna use like a new actor like they did in the past? I wonder who's it gonna be. And then something else looked
Nicolas Cage.
He can do anything.
I'm not gonna debate it. And then something else that might whet your appetite here, because guess who's involved with this? The Russo brothers. That's right.
Interesting.
The
All right.
Russo brothers. If you haven't seen the trailer for the first Berserker Kazan, go do it. It looks amazing. Your classic sword and sandals and sorceries type of deal. I don't know what else other than that. It looks cool, but this is the one that I do have the date, because it says it comes out March 27th. One of the few ones that did have the date for when it comes out, other than just vagueness.
Other than coming soon.
Let me just read what I wrote down here verbatim. New attempt at a Game of Thrones game. Because we're getting another Game of Thrones game.
All right.
This one doesn't look like it'll be instantly bad. Looks like it could be good. I need to see more of it, but it looks pretty good. It looks like they're still putting in... Do you remember when they made like a Lost game and a Game of Thrones game before? Not the Telltale one.
Vaguely. I
Yeah,
remember they were bad by all accounts.
Yeah.
They
were
pretty
not
much shoehorned a new character in the story that was supposedly always there the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was like a whole weird thing.
Yeah.
It seems like they're doing that with this one, which makes me think, but seeing the game, it's like, this could be good. I mean, I hope I get more information about the fucking spirals. What do these spirals mean? I want to know. You show me more spirals. What do the White Walkers want to do with spirals? No one's told me.
Maybe it's like drawing little. They just like drawing.
Oh, and then also another Sonic kart racer, Sonic Racing Crossworlds. Those haven't been the best games, but they also are not bad games, especially when I get them for free for PS Plus. So,
well, he keeps making good movies. Like they're going to be able to sell Sonic games. So,
well, this one's another one of the kart racers in particular. I would hope it's like the All Stars Racing Transformed, the one where it had like a bunch of different Sega characters, not just Sonic. But that's my thing, because it had Vise from Sky's Arcadia. You got the race in his boat, his sky boat. It was amazing. But Dispatch looks great, but looks to be only on PC. That's the one with Aaron Breaking Bad. Aaron
Paul.
Paul, thank you. My brain was
You gotta do it like him.
That.
You gotta add a bitch at the end of everything.
Yeah, that's fair.
video games, bitch.
It looks cool. I would like to play it, but it looks like it's going to be PC only. So, sucks to be me, I guess. But it does look good for anyone who does have PC and is interested. Look up Dispatch. It looks like someone who had superpowers loses their superpowers and is now part of the Dispatch team. Or it looks like, I think he had a suit his father made. Yeah, it's now flooding back. He had a suit his father made, got destroyed. His father's passed away since he's made it, and that was his only suit. So then they said, well, you can still help, but we're going to put you on Dispatch. So apparently I think you have to pick the right heroes to send to the right things, I think is how it is. Looks like there's more to it. I don't know, but it looks interesting and fun. Pardon me for this cough.
And Willie, if you're interested, I did find the list of winners.
Oh, my back does not like the fact I had to cough. All those muscles hate me. All those muscles hate me. Don't worry, this is the last note, because this is for the last trailer for let me see. It looks like it's Star Wars mixed with Ready Player One's 80s flair.
All right.
And it is
now you have my interest.
it had my interest from the get-go. I'm like, what is this? Who is this by? I saw there has a whole thing where someone's trying to tell this person, hey, give me this bounty. I want this bounty. Like, well, it's in a dangerous spot. I don't know if you should be like, give me the bounty. Did I stutter? Like, what are you doing? You work for me. Give it to me. And like the whole time, I'm like, what is this? Who is this? What company is this? And it flashes up. from the studio that gave you Crash Bandicoot, Jack and Daxter, Uncharted, Last of Us, Naughty
Alright.
Dog. I'm like, woo! Okay. Naughty Dog coming in here strong. And I'm not trying to throw shade at anything, but this looks like what Star Wars Outlaws should have been. Like it looks this what was that Pirate Skull and Bones? Was that the quadruple A game that they fucking said was quadruple A?
Yeah, it's
No,
not
this
good.
game. Look at this trailer. You don't tell me if that don't look quadruple A. Oh my god. And of course, I'm not throwing shade at Star Wars Outlaws for any of the dumb reasons. I haven't played it myself. Some of the things I've seen in it, like some of like the mechanics, like why would you do that? You're just bonking a dude with a helmet? You're bonking him in the back of the head. Come on now. He has a helmet to protect his head.
But that's
we
the
just
kind of stuff you
bonking
get
here?
in Star Wars is things kind of like that though too. I mean, remember the tone
Not
of
even
Star
a
Wars
non-force user, or I'm guessing here. I don't even know if that character's a force user, but you get what I mean.
Yeah.
But this looks amazing. Like, yeah, it's the title is Intergalactic: The Heretic Prophet. Sorry if I did not say that before, but this looks amazing.
And so, does it look like Star Wars, or is it set in Star Wars?
Like, you know that oh god, I don't know how to say it, that filter that Ready Player One has with the 80s filter it has. Like
Okay.
the 80s
That's the
goggles.
feeling it gives it?
It has that feel with the music hits it too, with the adds to the
Okay.
effect. And it also reminds me of Star Wars a bit. There's fucking like laser longswords.
Okay, but it doesn't look like it's actual Star Wars IP.
Oh
It's
no,
just
no. It doesn't
Naughty
look close. It just looks like a mix of
Okay.
those, like, because it also has like that 80s kind of like 80s sci-fi. Not
Okay.
quite exact, but kind of. It's like a
after
whole
playing
it's a
4
flare.
Uncharted, I will give this a shot. Yeah, this looks like
And
Star Wars and No Man's Sky, all with like a Uncharted skin on it.
and also the music score is original by Trent Reznor and Atticus Ross.
Oh, okay.
Interesting.
I have to look up who Atticus Ross is. I meant to do that before, but I do know who Trent Reznor is. Trent Reznor is from Nine Inch Nails, by the way.
Yes.
Trent Reznor is from being Trent Reznor.
Pretty much. And it looks like Atticus Ross has worked with Trent Reznor in the past. So, bam. Looks like they worked together in the past. So, bam. That looks cool. Yeah, they like, I would say definitely look at that. Still not my number one. My number one is definitely Project Century from RGG Studios. People do use that shorthand, and I should learn how to do that myself.
Easier to say.
I need to learn. I don't know why that third word just gives me so. It's the G-O. It's just like blah, blah, blah. It just stops my mouth up, like peripheral. It's like peripheral. What's with those two P's? Why is my mouth do? I don't get it.
Why does lisp have a lisp in it? It's just messed up.
Why do I have to have some phlegm when I say the word phlegm?
But yeah, Willie, if you're interested, per the IGN article, 6 games were nominated for the top prize of Game of the Year: Astrobot, Balatro, Black Myth Wukong, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, Metaphor, Refantazio, and Elden Ring Shadow of the Erd Tree.
Yeah, before you say one, have any of you heard about that Metaphor game?
No.
I've never heard of it either. That was nominated for a bunch of the stuff, and I'm like, how have I not heard of this?
I hadn't heard of
seen
Balatro
anything?
either, and then when I
I've
looked
heard
at
of
the
that.
categories, I see why.
Listen, I watch a little bit of Northern Lion every now and then. I enjoy that
Yeah, see, I'm
streamer.
out of the loop.
He plays that a bit.
I played No Man's Sky and a little bit of Fortnite, and that's
It's
about
it's
it
like
these days.
it's a poker game.
Okay.
Yeah, it's more like a poker game, but it's like a roguelike, and you're changing your cards in your deck.
But it was the winner was Astrobot, taking home the top
Bottom.
prize and 3 additional wins. And then Balatro also won big, taking home 3 awards total. So yeah, so game of the year was Astrobot. And then there was a couple of good ones on there. Best
Some people were
ongoing was
saying Oh, go ahead.
Oh, go ahead, Willie.
I was gonna say there was some controversy I did hear with that. Some people were saying maybe Black Myth Wukong should have won.
For Game of the Year.
I'm in the mind. Both of those games look amazing. I've only heard great things from both of them.
Yeah.
But what I've seen of Astrobot is just a love letter to just gaming in general.
Which that's not a bad thing.
Yeah, it's like it's an Oscar bait movie. Is what it is. It's a video
Nice.
game award a bait game. All right, like that's what it. I don't think that's why they made it to win the award. But
It's just
I'm
what it
also
was.
I understand why that one would win.
All right, fair enough.
Like
Yeah.
I do believe like Black Myth Wukong is. I mean, I'm not trying to take away from any of the other games, but those are like the two in my head that were like.
Yeah.
Like I'm not sure which one would win.
Of all those movies, Black Myth Wukong is the only one that's on my wish list, waiting for me to buy it the next time it goes on sale. Because like that game looks amazing.
Well, you kind of have a taste of Astrobot already on your PS5.
Yeah.
And like,
Helldivers beat
Not
out
bad.
all the continuing games for best ongoing. Helldivers 2,
mhm.
and then Balatro. It shows here. So best independent game, best debut indie game, and best mobile game. Balatro won all three categories. So it's a brand new independent mobile game. There you go.
Yep, man. I think was that one made by one guy? I can't remember.
On here,
I might be getting it mixed up.
Names.
There's a couple of them. I might be confusing my head. I know one of them's made by one person. I can't remember.
Black Myth Wukong did win best action game. So it didn't win best game overall, but it won best action. And then the Metaphor Refantasio won for best RPG. Over Final Fantasy VII, over Elden Ring, over Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth. And I've never even heard of this game.
Yeah,
Me
never
neither.
heard of it.
Yeah. We're out the loop, man. We're old.
Yeah, we're old, and I've talked about on here before that I'm pretty much a casual gamer now.
Well, that's
I just
the
play
only
whenever.
one I haven't heard. The only one.
Yeah, just impressive though. But good on Balatro winning,
So-
taking down 3 categories.
Willie, you might have missed one. Mother of Reptiles is in the chat and says, I was AFK for a bit. Did he mention the Okami sequel?
Oh,
He did a whole orchestral
when I did a
piece for the
recap, I guess I might have passed the trailer for it.
Yeah.
I listened.
That one-
I was running out of time and I was fast forwarding through it. It was like
Sure.
trailer. But yeah, I forgot there was a whole trailer for an Okami remaster. Or no, it was a sequel. It was sequel. It said Okami sequel. That's
It's
right.
a sequel. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sequel. All right.
Well, I mean, come on. They've already remade Okami once or
Multiple
twice before.
times.
Come
Yeah.
on. Are you really going to get at me of thinking they're going to do that again?
Yes, we're gonna get at you.
All right, get at me then.
Get at you,
We'll
boy.
get at you. Get.
But that's what I enjoyed about the video game awards this year, and I cannot wait for next year. And I hope we don't have to step on their toes again next year for time we go on. Every year it sneaks up on me too. I'm like, I keep forgetting about it.
It's
Same
sneaky.
here.
Yeah.
Like
Same
until
here. I
like
have
the
same
week
problem.
before, I'm like, oh shit, yeah, the video game awards. I always want to see it. I'm always excited for it. I always want to see it because it's amazing every year. Like what was that? A couple years ago, or 6-7 years ago, that one drunk guy, he was back again this year.
Oh no.
Oh, I mean, he came back in, I think, the year after that, and he kind of played off as a joke, and he was better. Like he had to been on something. Like he just would not be played off at all, or get
It
to
happened.
the point.
It happens at
It was
award
hilarious.
shows. Don't you play
Yeah, he
me
was
off,
back
you
this
sons of
year
bitches.
too, and I was laughing the whole time. Oh, it was great. Like video game awards are great. No, we had no incident of my Orthodox Jewish rabbi Bill Clinton this year.
There was no random string of words.
No person who randomly got on stage that shouldn't have been.
Just said weird stuff.
Yeah, I don't even why was that the thing you're saying?
He couldn't think of a joke.
Hey man, it's hard to be funny.
It's true.
Who's ever thought of a rabbi and Bill Clinton together
I mean, it sounds like there's a
as
punchline.
one
somewhere.
thing? Not as two separate things, as one thing.
Yeah, there's something in there. I don't know what it is, but there's something in there for sure.
Well, Willie, thank you for recapping the Game Awards announcements for us.
That's
Like
good
we mentioned at the top of the show, I hadn't had a chance to tune into much of the Game Awards, if any, and I honestly hadn't read any of the announcements because I assumed that's probably what you'd be talking about on the show. So thank you for making it so I had to do no work. I appreciate it.
I mean, I would check out the musical performances by the guy from 21 Pilots, I believe, and Snoop Dogg also had a thing. Snoop Dogg did a whole thing. Go look that up. He had a whole song.
Perhaps
Nice.
I will. All right, let's finish up this news sandwich. Let's toss things over to Mr. Bachman. What do you got for us in the news sandwich?
This was an easy one that we called before, and yeah, the studio that's doing Scream 7 has decided to back up the money truck. And yeah, when you piss off your two lead stars that are taking over your legacy sequel franchise, and when one of them, Jenna Ortega, is basically the biggest star in the world at the time, and she walks, and then your other lead star walks, or I guess was technically let go, whatever. Like, you really don't have any choice. So we got Scream 7 returning cast update. Gives the movie its biggest challenge yet. We've added Gale Weathers. So we got Sidney Prescott. We got Gale Weathers. We are getting... they've also, I saw confirmed this week, Chad and Mindy Meeks. So the niece and nephew of Randy are both coming back, which they showed him injured at the end of 6. And I think the biggest one is that we saw Gale Weathers allegedly killed, but we never see her die on camera. And so I think they're just going to be like, oh yeah, no, she didn't actually die. She lived through it. She was fine. Because the Ghostface was in her apartment, killed her boyfriend, then supposedly killed her, and then the rest of the movie happens. So I think they're just going to write that off. And the one thing we can guarantee is that the writing will be great, because this movie is being directed by Kevin Williamson, the guy who created Scream. And so if the script is not up to par, I'm pretty sure your on-set director will be fixing the writing. Because, yeah, like, nobody knows Scream better than Kevin Williamson. Nobody alive. Like, he's, this was his baby to begin with. There was one weird thing in the article that said that the Scream 7 challenge, after it's confirmed time jump. So they're bringing back Tara's friends, the group that they built up in the sequel in 5 and 6, which, yeah, Scream 5 is Scream 5. I'm not calling it Scream. Let's see, what was it? The most recent updates on Scream 7 have been all about the new cast: Isabel May, Celeste O'Connor, Makina Grease, and Sam Reckner. And now a character from the reboot trilogy is confirmed to return. As reported by Variety, Mason Gooding is reprising his role as Chad in Scream 7, making him the first character from the remaining core 4, which is what they call themselves in the movie, to return. However, while Chad's return is great for keeping some connection and continuity of the previous 2 movies, it's now a big challenge due to Scream 7's time jump. As mentioned above, Scream 7 will focus on Sydney's family, but Scream 2022 showed that her youngest child was still a baby or toddler. Scream 6 took place 1 year later. Ghostface targeting children wouldn't do any good for the franchise, so the new killer to be able to target Sydney's family, a time jump is necessary. So we're looking at, possibly 10 years down the road, so that way we have actors playing Sidney Prescott's kids. And so now Sidney Prescott's she's defended her friends. She's defended, everybody else before in her life. Now she's going to be defending her own children, which
Works.
it's another Ghostface is going to get himself killed. Fuck with Sidney Prescott.
No.
After 7 movies, we should have learned you don't fuck with the original. I think it was actually the end catchphrase in 6 was you don't fuck with the original. Or maybe 4. I don't know. They've done a bunch of them. But yeah, I'm just excited to see, because yeah, they're bringing back some of the characters that I was hoping that whole cast wouldn't go away. I mean, there were issues with Melissa Barrera, and then Jenna Ortega was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna go with her. Like, we're out of here." And so the sisters that they kind of built up 5 and 6 around, with those characters gone, that kind of changes where you're heading. It's like, well, then we need Sidney Prescott. They backed up the money truck for her. And then they're like, oh, hey, well, we're going that direction. Let's get Gale Weathers back because we don't see her die on camera. So at this point, still, the only legacy amazing character to die is unfortunately Dewey. So poor David Arquette won't be back. But hell, Skeet Ulrich came back for the last one. So who knows? Like, you know, they can do weird stuff in these movies. They're horror movies.
Skeet now.
And you know, they do Scream 7, then there is one more chance that we might get Stab 8. I mean, I'm just saying. If they had the balls, it'd be awesome.
No, just
Unlikely.
jump to Stab X in space.
Yeah. Well, the joke in the movies is that Stab 8's the bad one because it has time travel and a flamethrower. So, like, But yeah, you know, more Scream, more Ghostface, and Sidney Prescott's going to kill somebody else is going to try to kill her, which is usually what happens in those movies, and I fucking love it, and I'm looking forward to it.
Nice.
More
That is
Scream.
exciting.
And more Kevin Williamson Scream, even better. And you need a director, get the guy that wrote the damn thing.
I mean, you're not wrong. On that note, then, we are about to start shutting this thing down. But before we do, we wrap up with one last segment. It's a little bit called What I'm Into. It's our chance to share with the audience the geeky and nerdy stuff we be getting into because, hey, you guys may want to check it out yourselves. Selves. Whatever the right grammar is. Me no do grammar. I'll kick things off and say there's been a boatload of digital comics on sale in Comixology. So I've been buying a lot of older Flash and Superman omnibuses, like Grant Morrison run of Flash in the early 2000s.
Comixology, what's that?
Yeah, it's basically a redirect to Amazon's Kindle store.
Yeah, okay, that's what I thought.
Yeah.
Bastards.
They read fine on my iPad, but it really annoys me that it still pops up on your recent purchases on my black and white Kindle because I'm not reading a comic in black and white on my Kindle. I wish I could
say all these comics. Do all these comics run on Flash? Is that what you said?
No.
It would have been funny if that's
what
was
he said. Funnier joke. Yeah. Sorry.
I was just no selling it. That's all.
I'm used to it.
But yeah, I've been picking up a bunch of the Grant Morrison and Mark Waid run. Mark Waid's run of the 90s, Morrison's run of the 2000s. There's some high quality stuff in there that I had not really read a ton of, but knew in passing about. So it was kind of cool to buy some of these 300-page omnibuses for $2.
Does that include the Mark Waid rebirth storyline?
Yes, it does.
Nice.
That's one of my favorite. I still have those comics upstairs in the box. They are very well read because I bought them as a kid and I read them all the time. So they are just reader copies at this point in time, but I'll never get rid of them. And I think I have a trade paperback of that somewhere too, because I bought the trade eventually. So
nice.
And then I own it digitally because I'm like, I don't know where those are and I want to read this. And I was like, hey, it's only $1.99. Who gives a shit? So I've been buying a bunch of stuff on there. I've been reading some Kindle books, and then I've been really enjoying my new Kindle Paperwhite that I have because I finally upgraded my Kindle and I've been using it a bunch.
Nice.
And I've been reading a bunch of stuff out of my library. And for those that are not aware, a lot of your local libraries have connections to let you borrow ebooks and magazines and audiobooks and stuff like that. So I've been reading some books from the library that I wouldn't normally check out. And since it's a library book, if I get like a third to halfway through, I'm like, this just isn't cutting it for me. I don't feel bad about like, I'm just going to stop and check it in. It's not clicking with me. So it's a great way to get access to a whole back catalog of books and get to things. The whole magazine thing was really cool for me too. When I found out like recent issues of stuff, like I liked Empire Magazine, which does a lot of movie breakdowns and stuff like that. That's included at least in my local library subscription on the Libby app. So like I was reading the most recent issue of Empire and I was like, this is awesome because it was all a breakdown of a bunch of Star Wars stuff coming out. So yeah, I've been reading a boatload of stuff and I probably should have been playing some video games because I still need to play more Dragon Age Veilguard. I wanted to try Marvel Rivals because that's out.
Ooh.
And then Indiana Jones and the Great Circle I have downloaded. I just haven't had a chance to play it yet because anytime I get done with work and I settle in, it turns into I'm just going to read some comics or I'm going to read a book, which I guess isn't a problem that I'm spending my free time reading instead of playing video games. But now I kind of want to play some games too. So I got to find the right way to balance things out.
Balance is tough.
Yeah, I got to be an adult about it. And
I've been reading enough. I've been doing everything else but reading.
Yeah. That's what I'm getting into. Willie, why don't you go next? What you been getting into, sir?
Funny enough, some Marvel rivals. Because, like I said before, Overwatch was not the problem. But yes, so far, I believe the main person character I've been playing as, because for some reason it just clicked. I guess I'm just a support main. Rocket was my guy. Good old Rocket Raccoon.
Nice.
Gone through that. I think I'm currently ranked gold in the competitive. I forget what the thing is called. Competitive still. I don't know if they use different terminologies. Just don't worry. You start in the base bronze and you go up to bronze, to silver, to gold. Other than that, I also believe I am under assault from a time variance of something that happened to me as a child, because I had a trampoline as a kid, and the origins of the trampoline is a whole other story, but we're not here for that. We're here for there was one time I was just jumping on the trampoline by myself. It was in the backyard of my dad's place. I was just jumping up, jumping down, jumping up, jumping down, having fun. When I come down and do one big old jump, and then as I'm reaching the peak of the jump in the air, I'm like, why am I only seeing the sky? My body, for some reason, said, I'm going horizontal for this jump, which wouldn't have been that bad, except I was kind of at the edge of the trampoline.
Oh.
So when I came down, my lower back hit the metal rail. I did not have padding on any of that trampoline at all. It was just straight metal, and the springs. Every now and then, your meat gets caught in the springs. Ooh, that hurt. But no, but pretty much my lower back hit the metal, and then I pretty much did a backflip, and then landed on my face on the ground, because my head was already off the trampoline. My legs were on the trampoline, so my lower back hit right at the metal and just flipped my body. At first, I thought I broke my back, because I didn't feel any, like, at the moment I didn't feel anything. Like, I felt an impact, and then I know I hit the ground. But other than that, I'm like, does that mean there's numbness? I don't know what's going on. I got up and was just okay. And I was like, that's enough jumping for now.
Yeah, I think so.
So I think what happened is, from when that happened, all that pain and all the thing that happened to the muscles and the bones took its time to affect, to about 30 years. No, it was, let's say, about 25 years to now. Let's say about 25 years to now. Let's just say it took that long to affect me. So I've been out for about a week with the bad back.
Well, hopefully it starts getting better for you.
Hope you enjoyed the fun story with it.
Nothing like being attacked by the time variance.
Don't we all get tired of that?
It's true. Well, Willie, we hope you are on your path to recovery, especially as we're happening upon holiday times and visits and things like that. So it would not be very fun to be laid up, I imagine.
Oh no, I don't have to go see my family. All right, now hold on. Whoa. Before we take it out of context, some of my family.
There you go.
Listen, we all have anti-vaxxers in our family, and we all think they're weird.
I mean, he's not wrong.
It's true.
Uncle Bobby's always been an anti-vaxxer, and we always think he's weird. My apologies if you have an Uncle Bobby. I actually do not. I do have an Uncle Phil. He's not an anti-vaxxer, though.
See, that's totally different.
But he does act differently than Uncle Phil from Fresh Prince. But he does remind me of Gary Busey. Not turned up to the 11, but definitely to a 7.
There's still a lot of Busey.
Not the crazy Not the full on crazy, but he has a lot of the fun. The fun without the crazy. That's why I say 2 a 7.
All right.
I love my Uncle Phil.
That's fair. Bachman, why don't you wrap things up for us? What you been getting into?
You can see some of it on the table behind me. I've been painting a bunch of the Stormcast Eternals. I've got the 27 different Stormcasts that I'm trying to get at least table ready to go play with my nephew for Christmas Day. We're going to do a Spearhead, so Skaven Tide. He's got all of the rats of the Skaven, 50 some odd models, and I've got the 27 Stormcasts. I've got the Retributor Armor Silver on all of them, so they at least have like their metal armor on. On a couple of them, maybe like 9, I've done the gold to offset the silver, and one of them has the blue. So I've still got a fair amount of work to do, but I've got 4 days off before Christmas Day, so I'm hoping I can get at least the gold done, and then maybe 1 or 2 of them get like the blue cloak painted. And then very stoked, looking forward to that. My buddy that I used to do my podcast with Colin is coming back down for Christmas to visit his family. I'd gotten my Tarantulas brood for Warcry for walking around work. And because he wants me to paint them for him, I did order his Rotmeyer Creed. So I've gotten my second Warcry Warband set from Amazon gift cards paid for by my company's well-being take care of yourself program. So if you work for a company that has one of those, look into it. If the one you have sucks, talk to your HR and have them look at the Navigate Wellbeing program, because it's awesome. We can earn like $300 a year for stuff you do anyways, getting your physical done, giving blood, walking. Like, it's awesome. Like, I'm getting free toys for going to work. Like, I can't beat that. So my buddy Colin's gonna come over, so I'm gonna work on those with him. And then other than that, I've been watching a bunch of shows. We watched a couple of Christmas movies. We did watch Red One, which had popped up on Amazon Prime for free because it's an MGM movie. Definitely funny, really interesting. It's fun to see Chris Evans and Dwayne Johnson playing off each other as an unlikely duo. And I mean, you can't beat a jacked Santa Claus. J.K. Simmons is just great in everything. Just trying to think of what else, like for the big stuff for the year. Oh yeah, Secret Level. I watched the first, I think 5 or 6 episodes of that with Jana the other night. The Warhammer episode was great. The Dungeons and Dragons one was really good. I see now on Amazon, I'm not sure what day it was, but it looks like they've released the rest of them. So I've got episodes 9 through 15 to watch now, which I watched like the first 8, and I'm like, where the hell's the Mega Man episode? It's not in here. It's like, now they've released the rest of them. Though episode 8 was the Armored Core episode, which with Keanu Reeves, which I don't know. If you watch nothing else, I would say watch that episode. If you want to see something truly creepy, watch episode 6, Pac-Man. They did something with, I never would have thought of what they did with the Pac-Man story. It is creepy. Ooh. It is well designed. It's super interesting. And yeah, you'll never see it coming. Like, it's really good. But yeah, I'm looking forward. Yeah, now I've got the Mega Man one to watch, Outer Worlds, Honor of Kings, and then Playtime. I don't know what that one is. Yeah, so I've got like 9 more of those to watch. I do have to say though, like we're talking about like end of the year stuff though. My new favorite show is Skeleton Crew. We saved this week's episode, so me and Jan are gonna go watch that when we're done here. I think this will be the 3rd episode, 3rd or 4th. We're current up until this week's episode, but it's Goonies in space. It's exactly what Star Wars needed. It's something lighthearted with kids. It's fun, while at the same time, like they brought back the werewolf from the Mos Eisley Cantina and made him a character. Like there was a werewolf in the background of that movie in '77, and like we never saw him again. He's a freaking pirate in Skeleton Crew. It's awesome. You have a crazy, violent robot. You have kids that are way over their head, dealing with madness and finding out, crazy stuff about the world that they're from. And Jude Law just being awesome. And apparently, like, maybe the galaxy's biggest liar. So who knows? Yeah, it's so much fun. I get that people love stuff like Andor. It's like, oh, we want a serious adult take on freaking Star Wars. We want like, deep cover black ops spy stuff. It's like, okay, that was cool. That was great storytelling. Not really hopeful, not really like, making you like happy. There's no happiness in Andor. It was brutal. Great storytelling, but brutal. Skeleton Crew is freaking fun. It's just pure Star Wars fun. I don't know how anybody couldn't love this show. It's my show of the year. I love it. I just watched 9 episodes of Succession the other day because I was sick. I watched the whole first season in a row. Bunch of awful people. Fantastic storytelling. Great dialogue. Bunch of psychopaths. Like, not fun. Skeleton Crew is freaking fun. I'm going to go watch me some more Skeleton Crew. I'm loving it.
Nice. I forgot to mention on mine, I binge watched season 1 of Shrinking on Apple TV Plus.
Oh, I've heard good stuff about that one.
Really enjoyed it. Harrison Ford is hilarious at times in that. Like, I knew Harrison Ford had a dry wit and could be funny, but him doing like a dramedy, like he's really good in it.
It's not just scenes of him going, that's not how the Force works.
No, it's just hard to believe that Harrison Ford's doing TV now. Like, he's been in movies like my entire life. And I'm like, holy shit.
Yeah.
Harrison Ford's doing a TV show.
Yeah. I mean, compared to like, especially we were growing up, especially like, in the 80s, like there was very much a divide. Like there were movie actors and there were TV actors, and never the twain shall meet. It's pretty much gone. Like that divided line is like, no, if there's a good script somewhere and someone's telling a good story, I'm going to hop over here and go tell that story with them. It really doesn't seem to be like, there's not that many people that are like, no, I would never do television. Or I would never do movies. It's you go where the good work is. You go where a good story is being told.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, on that note, then, everyone who's watching live, we do thank you for joining us. We are about to shut things down. But before we shut things down, a friendly reminder, once the new year starts, we'll be back on our Thursday night streams. We are off for next week because it's holiday time. People are traveling, things like that. We'll be back in January, Thursday nights, 8:30 p.m. Head on over to gonnageek.com/live or nerds.live. That will take you to our streaming site and page. And I would not be shocked if for that next show, if we aren't trying another alternative streaming solution to replace our StreamYard. There's a couple different things I want to try. Just right now, I've been relatively pleased with how well Restream worked tonight, enough that if this is the route we decide to go, the paid basic plan would more than cover everything we need to do, plus allow for cloud recordings and stuff like that. So cautious optimism there. If you do have suggestions for some other stuff that we should explore for our streaming path forward, please feel free to hit me up on Threads at the Chris Farrell or over on Blue Sky at Chris Farrell. Blue Sky Social or whatever the hell that is, because I was actually able to poach my full name there.
Nice.
Not having to put a the prefix there. I was just talking to our good friend Sean Pryor on Blue Sky. I said, hey Sean, you're gonna have to update Kaiju Unleashed after Superman. And he was laughing. I was like, I'll talk to the publisher.
Nice. Volume 2. We need more Kaiju.
Volume 2. Yeah.
Yeah. For starting off the new year, I'm starting with Dune is going to be the first book I read next year, followed by Kaiju Unleashed. It has moved up to the second spot.
My local bookstore that I placed the order with for Kaiju Unleashed called me this week and said they had it in. I just haven't had a chance to go down and pick it up. I'm going to pick it up this weekend, and that's probably what I will start reading over my break next week when I've got a few days off of work. But before we shut this thing down, do you guys have any final thoughts for the people?
Merry Squigmas. Don't let the Red Gobble get your presents.
Play Yakuza 0.
There you go. Well, on that note, we are going to shut things down, and we will see you all in 2 weeks. Bye, guys. Thanks for listening to this brand new episode of the All Things Good and Nerdy podcast. Don't forget, we'll be back next Sunday live at 11 a.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Central over at live.atgnpodcast.com, channel 3 of the Alpha Geek radio app, and over at our network home at gonnageek.com/live. If you have any feedback for the show, please contact us atgnpodcast@gonnageek.com, on our hotline number at 304-806-ATGN, or even better, go to Twitter and send us a message at ATGN Podcast. The music you've heard in this show is produced by Kevin MacLeod and can be found at incompetech.com.